Hello my friends, welcome to another video, and today I'm going to talk about a new fragrance in my collection, and this is a fragrance from the house of Hugo Boss, and it's called Hugo Boss Number One. So this is an old school fragrance from the 80s. This was considered to be the 80s office scent. And this is a really great scent, to my honest opinion, because it has really great performance. But I'm gonna say it right from the beginning, it resembles a lot, if you want, with another powerhouse from the 80s, and that is none other than Lapidus Pour Homme. They almost smell the same. Due to the top notes, the middle notes, the only difference or the biggest difference that I see between these two fragrances is in the base notes. So Hugo Boss Number One has a really interesting composition. We have bergamot and lemon in the opening. In the hard notes we get jasmine, rose and honey, and in the base notes we get cedarwood and tobacco. Basically, the top notes and the middle notes, with some differences, are identical to Lapidus Pour Homme. This one has a more complex note breakdown. It features a lot more notes. This one also has patchouli inside, for example. But the common factor here between these two fragrances is, if you want, the honey note. Which plays a huge role in both of these fragrances. In the beginning, if you want, or if in the opening, they resemble a lot. The same punch of bergamot and lemon, backed very, very fast by the honey note. Then afterwards, the florals take the lead, especially jasmine on my skin in Boss Number One. The roses here is present, but is not as powerful as I was expecting it to be, and it doesn't bother me at all. I do love jasmine, so it's not a problem for me, but the main element here is the honey note. Compared to Lapidus Pour Homme, the honey note inside the Boss Number One, it's a bit toned down, which I highly appreciate, because in Lapidus Pour Homme the honey note is so present, it's so much, and it sweetens so much the whole fragrance. So I like it that in Boss Number One it's toned down. And afterwards you have a really nice base made out of cedarwood and tobacco, and here's the main difference between these two fragrances, because at first the tobacco note is very subtle, but then afterwards it takes the full control of the fragrance, and combined with the cedarwood and with a hint of honey, transforms that base into something really, really nice. Also, compared to Lapidus Pour Homme, I find Hugo Boss Number One to be a bit better in terms of transitions. It's not as linear as Lapidus Pour Homme is, for example, mainly because you have in the opening a fresh opening with citruses, then the fragrance becomes something sweet floral, and in the end it becomes something very woody. Where with Lapidus Pour Homme, for example, unfortunately, you get a hint of fresh opening, fresh notes, and soon the fragrance is taken over by the honey note, which doesn't leave room for transitions and I don't know, other things, other interesting things throughout the wearing. In terms of performance, these two fragrances are two powerhouses. As I said, I usually get 12 hours plus on my skin, and it stays a lot more on clothing. In terms of projection, it projects really great for the first 3 to 4 hours, and afterwards it becomes closer to the skin, but it doesn't become a skin scent. So really nice performance. I would see this fragrance being worn only on cold days, especially in fall and winter, but also in spring when it's still cold. And I would see this fragrance being worn only by mature men. This isn't a fragrance for younger people. And also, whenever I see this this fragrance, whenever I smell it on my skin, I have a very exact image of how to wear it and when to wear it. And this is a very elegant fragrance on its own. It has high quality notes, it's very well blended, and I see it worn only on special occasions, office type occasions, meetings, for example, business meetings. And also I see the image of a guy dressed with a suit, with a tie, and with a really nice elegant watch on his hand. So this isn't a fragrance for younger crowds, unfortunately. That's why I highly recommend it for people that are at least 30 years old and even higher. Really nice fragrance, really good quality, and it's also really cheap if you want to buy it. I highly encourage you to include it in your list if you go to shop some new fragrances, mainly because this is a really cool scent for winter time or for colder days, and also it's a really beautiful scent for special occasions, at least in my opinion. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one, and as always, my friends, be safe, be good. Peace.